Family, what's up? This is Teddy D just coming in real quick before the show. I have a couple of feedback emails I wanted to read and just say what's up real quick. So the first one is from my girl, Mama G. She sent an email and it says, "Welcome back, Mr. Podfather. Glad your job is no longer working you like a runaway slave. Great new shows. Missed the informative and interesting guests, which is your trademark. Baylor's Thoughts was a little short, hilarious, but I don't think LJ and Lish could have made it much longer." Very true. Mr. G showed me your picture from Facebook. You have an absolutely beautiful family. Stay strong and be blessed and continue to be a great leader. Much love, Mama G, Hoopla's #1 fan. Listen, if anybody ever has a problem with Mama G, come see me. That's my girl. So much appreciated for the email. Of course, you can check her out on the episode of Versus, which was really good, by the way, on the G-Spot Network. Check them out as always. Homie Spirit. What up to the whole fam? And the second email that we got from, the homie Mr. Pack, Rick Pack. "Hey, Teddy, just wanted to say I was glad you came back to doing the Why Not podcast. I know this is late coming. I love your show, Rick." Much appreciated, brother. As always, I always tell you when you write in, man, it's good to hear from you. And listen, let's get into this show. It's a show that I'm really excited about. Got my homie Tony on here for the first time, and I guarantee you'll love it as much as I did. It's a little late coming out, so a couple of the references you'll hear are from a couple of weeks ago because, listen, life. My apologies again, but I didn't want to wait any longer. So as always, thanks for listening. Here we go. This is the Why Not Podcast. Family, what's good? This is Teddy D back with another episode of the Why Not Podcast. Appreciate you guys taking the time to come chill with us, kick it for another episode. As always, you can reach out on Twitter at Teddy_D_, and you can also reach out on Instagram. I'm kind of on there, sporadically every couple months or so. That's under Dwight Ted if you want to find that. So today, a couple things before I bring on these esteemed guests that I have in the studio with me. Shout out to everybody who took the time to listen to the past couple of episodes. I know we've been gone for a minute, but I checked the numbers. I was like, hey, look at that. Like, y'all actually listening. So much appreciated for that. We got a couple reviews that we will be reading next show. So once again, thank you. And if you have any other shows that you want to hear me on, feel free to listen to the Black Astronauts, and that's on iTunes, anywhere else where you can find this podcast, as well as the Wrap-Up podcast. We're wrapping up The Walking Dead right now. And this past week, we had a guest feature, the Black Astronauts on The Black Guy Who Tips, which is dope. So any new listeners we're getting from that, welcome. Check us out, Hopefully you enjoy it. So today, man, this has been a show that I've been wanting to do for a while. I got in a vet of the Why Not, my homie, my brother. You heard him on the 2 episodes ago. He made his triumphant return as well as I did. Mm-hmm. The homie, brother Ty. What's going on with you, man?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, slow motion, man. How you feeling?
I'm blessed, man.
Nice.
Good to be back. Why not?
Why not be back?
Everybody. What's good, y'all?
Yeah, man. And shout out to the episode we did with the homie Britton.
Yes, sir.
The Hater Britton. You can check him out anywhere where you got social media. He'll be there to amuse you with his hate as well. Absolutely. But that episode did really well, so much appreciated for the love. And we have one of the homies that we've been knowing for a while. Man, when I say he's a good dude, that's an understatement.
It's a good brother. It's a good brother.
You know it's a good guy when you hear it from multiple sources, right?
Yeah.
In the sports aspect, we call that verifying the sources, right?
Absolutely.
So not only is he from the great city of Louisville and not so great state of Kentucky, but we know him through being a great husband, a great father, of course, which we'll get into that a little later in the show. But just also a dude that when you see him, even though it's been a while, nothing but love,
right.
and he's giving that positive energy back to you. So welcome to the show, brother Tony. What's going on, man?
What up, though, man? I'm just appreciate you appreciate y'all having me, man. I'm a big fan of the show, big fan of both you guys' show, man, and I'm glad to be able to witness it live. So appreciate y'all having me.
Come on, man.
This is
brother. All this is conversations conversations we already been having. We're just recording them. So
Absolutely.
It's nothing big at all, man. And if anything, the great thing about this show is not that's a little cocky. Let me say this. The great thing about this platform in general, let me say that, is you hear a lot of voices that are missing in a lot of larger media platforms that that people that you enjoy hearing from and learning from.
Can relate to.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That's the biggest thing that drew me in, man, the relativity of it.
Right. Yeah,
You know
man.
what I'm saying? And not only just from being young black males, you know what I'm saying, in this media space, but also being from the hometown.
Yeah,
So
man.
it's the greatest perspective on things. So
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And I think one of the things that I'm proud to say is, of course, we're all from Louisville. But, even though we've had different paths and gotten to where we are now in different types of ways, but, I feel like we've done all right.
Yeah.
We
I believe we've conquered a few stereotypes.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? I mean, we all come from Louisville. We all grew up in two. Me and Teddy grew up in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, literally.
Tony grew up on the other side of town.
yes, indeed.
However, he accomplished everything that was expected from us in our community, in our neighborhood,
Right.
Regardless of his situation.
Yeah,
You know
Tony
what I'm
passed us up in about 02.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to hear a humble brother, but,
Yeah.
let me tell you his credentials if he won't. But he from the Ville. What year did you graduate out of?
Graduated high school 01.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Atherton.
Atherton alumni,
Yeah,
yes
shout out to
indeed.
that.
Atherton Rebels, you know.
That's what's up, man. But you went on. You went to the great college at WKU.
Yes, indeed.
Right.
Hilltoppers, baby.
Wow. What up, fellow Hilltoppers tuning in? And you came back here and you made a dope life about yourself, man. With yourself, I should say. So, man, one of the things that I wanted to talk to y'all about is anyone listening that's not from Louisville and is in whatever city or state that you're tuning in from. An issue that we've been hearing about a lot lately is violence and specifically gun violence. And in our city, as of this past week, what I was reading, we're over 100 murders for the year.
111
Yeah.
today. 111.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. And anybody who's in, LA or Chicago or, one of the bigger cities, you hear that number and it doesn't sound that bad. But remember, our population is nowhere near some of those larger cities too. Right. So if you look at it in perspective, it's been a horrible year as far as murders and violence has gone. And one thing happened a couple of weeks ago that, man, it just hit home for me.
It was Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, Thanksgiving Day. We have a tradition here in the city of Louisville called the Juice Bowl. And the Juice Bowl is just youth football that they get together on Thanksgiving Day, just like you see in the NFL with Detroit always playing Dallas. In Louisville, it's a tradition, especially in the black community, for these kids to have a platform to go out, be the big deal, at least for one day, bring people together and just have a great time. But this year there was some type of argument that happened. One side said something to the other. Without getting into the details, there were shots fired, and there ended up being how many people that passed away? I think it was
6 people shot, 2 people murdered.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
at a youth football game, though, bruh. Like, I get that you can get angry. Like, I get that you can lose your temper, but you got to know where you are with not only kids around, but literally that's the reason why you're here, because kids are playing football. And you think it's all right to start shooting?
It's. I mean, when you hear these stories, first you have to pause and you have to ask yourself, man, what? Say what now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you want to clarify what you're hearing.
Yeah.
Because it's just there's no value of life. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you ask yourself, man, these things happen from time to time. What's the solution? What is the solution? You know what I mean? What do we do?
Therein lies the issue, because I have those moments and those thoughts where I ask myself the question, what is it that I myself am not doing? What is it that I'm falling short on that, me being the larger part of an older community isn't breaking through and making a connection to the point where I'm like, yo, why? Well, I mean, it blows my mind so much. I can't even.
And all the violence that's going on in the city, it sends a lot of emotions through me. First, is fear. Just us coming up in the city, and we got kids coming up in the city. And not only that, man. The last few years, the murder rate is just growing and growing. From 2014, it was 57. 2015, it was 87. And now we're clearly over 100. So it's kind of like, where do we go from here? And like you said, what's the solutions and the proper way to get to that solution? I don't know.
Yeah, I would love to hear what that solution is. And I'll say this, I had a conversation with I don't think he minds me mentioning his name, but a gentleman by the name of Mr. Chuck Matthews, and he's an older gentleman, and I grew up with his son, but he and I ran into each other not that long ago. And we were just talking about things in general, and it turns out that we both volunteered at this program called Everyone Reads, where you go in and you read with some elementary school kids throughout the year, and you improve their reading. But, we had the larger conversation of, what is it, what do I do when not only I get a little tired, a little burnt out from trying to cut out that time to volunteer, to do my thing, but, you're lacking in inspiration. And he said something that was great. Me being a new father, it helped put that perspective with me. And he said, for every child that you sit down and you take time with whatever it is that they're doing, reading, math, like basketball, coaching, all that, that's more than likely one less child that has a chance to grow up and harm your child in any way.
Right.
And I'm like, that's deep.
Yeah.
that's deep. That's deep.
Planting those seeds.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And, I'm also, I say all that to say, I it's important, of course, to help kids in any way that you see fit, because, a lot of kids just don't have that support. So you need to do that when you can. But, I'm also naive to think that it's not too late to reach the adults either. And therein lies an even tougher problem.
Right. Kids, I think, kids are more impressionable.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think kids best feed off role models and positive people to look up to. The adults, on the other hand, they don't want to, they kind of start, but they don't want to hear the preaching and, talking down on them or trying to better them. So they tend to look the other way.
Right.
You're right. Yeah, I mean,
and you got a lot of things also that get in the way. You have ego gets in the way of it. You know what I mean?
Thing.
One thing that we have bad here is we have the spirit of jealousy.
Yeah.
The spirit of jealousy. You know what I mean? We don't have that mentality that other countries value, because they know that's what builds the economy. If you have the mentality of when you see someone doing good, someone doing better, to actually root for them and to encourage them to be better,
right?
You're actually feeding that force that was just stirring them in the right place. Unfortunately, here I've noticed over the years, just growing up, man, just seeing it, man. When someone else sees another person doing good, 9 times out of 10, they just are unhappy. They rather see them fail.
Right.
They rather conversate. Their conversations rather be about that person, not in a good way. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, it's crabs in the bucket type mentality, man, where you just want to bring people down.
Yeah.
But within adults, another thing also is just valuing life, man. I mean, all this anger.
Yeah, man.
A lot of people have regrets, a lot of goals that they didn't accomplish, a lot of things that they, even at these games. I mean, when's the last time y'all been to a Little League game in the city? You know what I mean? Have you listened to the parents? There's a lot of anger.
Yeah.
That kid ain't getting that touchdown. I done seen
kids ain't getting in the game enough.
Beefing with the ref. All that. I done seen a lot. Yeah. My son's played, Little League in the city. Yeah. So I've seen firsthand how things can get out of hand. Now, to start shooting each other on a holiday is like unheard of.
I mean, you supposed to be at home with turkey.
It's unheard of.
Like, what?
I mean, seriously.
What is that deep?
I mean,
And like you said, man, value in life.
yeah.
And also value in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
A lot of people making these choices, not even considering the consequences that's coming behind those choices.
Man.
And they make one bad choice and it's coming right back on them. So whether it's getting locked up or another violent act out.
I just wish everyone could see the transformation of when someone makes a real bad decision.
Yeah.
How they turn out to be hours later after it happens. Some of the hardest people y'all think in the world
Crumble.
as soon as they catch that case.
Yeah.
I mean, they transform to a completely different person.
Yeah. Man.
And it's based off a impulse, which is covered in ego because you're too busy worried about what everyone thinks, man. We got to stop worrying about what people think, man. You know, we got to do for ourselves. We got to enjoy life. Life is short. Like, what is it to be a human being? Let me ask that question. What is it to be a human being? I mean, do we really even know what we are? Maybe if we knew more about what and who we are, we would value that life more. You know what I mean? Do you realize that we just here for a small time period?
Small time period.
Yeah.
We was all little. Teddy, I remember you when we was little. I don't even know how old we were. We was kids. I met Tony when I was young in high school, like a freshman.
My head was the same size it is now.
You know what I'm saying? But we grown now. We married. We got kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, life's short, man. You know, we can't be taking life for granted, man. We got to value the people around us. And in Louisville, you know, everyone knows everybody, man. Y'all can talk about how big the city is all you want. We live in a village.
Yeah. We really do.
We live in a village. And everything that happens in the village affects all of us. I don't care where you live. You can live in the deepest part of West End, Dixie South End, all the way out Prospect, Fern Creek, J-Town, anywhere you live in the city. We all know each other one way or the other. Yeah. So when these things happen in our community, it really affects us, man. So like I said, when I heard that story, man, it saddened me because I'm like you fellas. I'm a parent too.
Yeah, bro. I mean, that's somebody's kid.
Yeah.
That's laying in the hospital instead of eating some cranberry sauce that came from the can.
And to be over nothing.
That you had to cut. What's up with that, by the way? The slicing of the cranberry. I got to a debate.
I ain't never seen nobody make cranberry sauce from scratch. I
don't know how you do it.
Ocean spray. Like somebody was at work telling me about
they open the can, right?
Right.
And here's the thing.
Like, that's the birth.
They put it on that.
Right?
They put it on like a pretty dish though, like a fancy dish.
They bring out the real China,
and they hurry up and throw it out. But they hurry up and throw the can away, like they don't want to.
Like nobody saw.
And then they cut these slices.
Well, hold on. I told my mom, like, this is how I know it's trifling because, like, every year, it took me to get older to realize that they pour it from the can and they cut it where the can marks are.
That was crazy. Yeah.
You
Those
got
little
one
ridges
fat
on the
piece.
side.
Yeah. I'm like, is that perforated cranberry sauce or something? But in general, man, you're right. And you know, I wanted us to start with this because I wanted to emphasize that, man, anybody listening, whatever it is that you can do is what I hope that you will start to do. So, you know, if there's a child, if it's your niece or nephew, if it's somebody that lives in the same apartment complex and you know, you just encourage them one day out of the month, who cares? Anywhere you need to start there. Because this city specifically, but all overall in general, man, I just see too much good in people for us to have these type of results. You know what I mean?
You're right. And a lot of the kids, man, they be looking for it, man. I'm a youth minister at my father-in-law's church, RTC, and man, ever since I started helping out with the youth, I didn't realize how much fun it is.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm like their big brother.
Yeah.
So I be killing them with questions because I'm trying to get their mind working, man. Right. I be like, so how was your week? Man, it was all right. Okay. Yeah. Well, what happened? Well, you know, I had some issues and I got kicked off the team. I got kicked off the team?
For what?
I'm like, no, hold, time out. Didn't you tell me that all you wanted to do was make the team? Yeah. And you made the team and then you messed it up.
But he let the juju on the beat, though.
I'm like, dog, come on, man. But I'll point out, you know, constructive criticism.
Right.
Build them up. I'll point out that you were able to accomplish your goal.
Yeah, man.
You did make the team. That was a goal that you wanted. All right.
Now, contrary to belief, man, kids like discipline.
They do.
Now listen, I'm not telling some of y'all to lose your mind,
Right.
and beat them with everything you can. Now
Those days ain't. We ain't in those days.
I just mean like standard structure.
Yeah.
Calling them out if they fall.
But you got to get on them though. You can't. Do not let these little children think they're grown, and that happens too.
Yeah.
Some kids honestly think they're grown. You just got to remind them, man, you're still a child. Yeah. You need to enjoy your childhood because once you grow up, you're going to wish you was a child again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't even know who LG is.
Nah. Look. That's why I say that's how I get my teenage son. See, he think he's my height, so he think he's grown.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, man. So, man, what bills you got? He's like, huh? Like, yeah, no, you grown, right?
Yeah.
What you gonna pay? Oh no, I ain't got. I was thinking you gonna pay. No,
That's exactly how I get my little nephew. He got his first job working at Wendy's.
Can't tell him nothing, huh?
And he done stacked his bread.
Right.
Yeah.
So hey, you gonna put in on the cell phone bill?
Like what?
You got me.
It changes everything when they got paid.
Oh, I'm trying to get these new J's. Okay. All right.
It's all good though, man.
You think, man. Well, look, as always, feel free to write in. If you have any suggestions, any stories, inspiration, ideas, we would love to hear them. Just hit us up at the Why Not Podcast at gmail.com or any of the social media venues that we mentioned before. I'll tell you what. Y'all, it's a good start. Give us a second, and we'll be right back with you. All right. This is the Why Not Podcast. Welcome back. So in the first part of the show, we wanted to let everybody know what's been going on in the city of Louisville. Hopefully encourage people to get out, be a little bit more involved in the communities. And, a big part of the community, fellas, is that special time in your life when you find somebody that you say, you know what, I like you well enough to give you a ring, young lady. And you go on and you refer to that young lady as your wife, your rib, your girl first,
your boo.
The old school reference, yeah. But we were chopping it up before the show and just laughing about where we are now, not only as men, but the fact that we knew each other before we were married men and the gentleman that you see before you, and now I feel like shout out to our wives. We in a better place.
We are, man.
Indeed,
we are.
We in a better place. But one thing I wanted to ask you guys, and this is something that we didn't discuss, but just a random thought that I have from time to time with my married dudes is when it comes to marriage, right? When it comes to that moment of saying, hey, this is somebody I want to kick it with until they put some dirt over me. What was it? What was it? Just you can even be in general or specifics if you like. But what was it that made you look at the situation and be like, you know what? Yeah, this one I'll do it. I'll do it. Start with young Tony,
Brother Ty.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with me. My wife, she was just always there.
Yeah.
Like she just when we met, it was weird anyway. When we met, it felt like we already knew each other. So, like I said, it was Thanksgiving 2007.
I didn't realize it was Thanksgiving. Oh yeah,
Yeah, Jim Porter's a Jim Porter night, man. I walked past
Jim Porter.
We crossed paths on the dance floor, man, and we was talking about this the other night too. Oh, my girl, she's so cry. I love you, girl. Anyway, man, we walked past each other. We walked past each other on the dance floor, and in my mind, the way I remember, she runs up and jumps on me. She says that didn't happen.
Aggressive.
She said she just wrapped her arms around me.
I mean, that's
And I was, but I promise y'all, when she held me, it felt like I had already knew her, man. Man, this felt familiar. And we danced for like 3 songs. Yeah, for real. We danced for like 3 songs before we even spoke.
Right.
We just dancing.
Yeah.
And long story short, we exchanged numbers. We stayed in touch. But I'm gonna be honest, man. I mean, she was always there.
So that's game, man. Basically,
yeah.
It's all right to admit it.
Nah, I mean, she was just always like, I was in denial for the longest. I'm like, she like me, but she don't love me. She like me, but she don't love me. Nah, man, look, this woman loved me from the bottom of her heart.
Right.
And then, me being me, it just took life to show me, like, listen, this woman is the woman for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You need to go ahead and get serious.
Lock it down.
But that's my other half, man. That's the thing about it. When you find the right person, man, it's a spiritual thing. It really ain't too much to say. You just know it in your heart. Yeah, it just works out. It works out.
Right.
It works out.
Right.
I don't have to manually and try to make her be a certain way and try to influence her. She can be herself. Yeah. She allows me to be myself.
Yeah.
Which allows me to feel like a man because now I know my place.
All right.
All right. Okay. I provide. I protect. I raise the kids. Yeah. I love my wife. Protect her. She gave me like a woman gives you your place in life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know where you fit in. She gives you that purpose.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was asking you earlier, life before marriage and life after marriage. Life before marriage, I didn't really have a purpose. I was just moving around, but I had no destination.
You didn't have a good purpose, but
I had no destination.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, I'm very careful with my words. So, now that, like I said, life after marriage, man, I know my place. I understand fulfillment now. I'm at peace. You know what I'm saying? A brother's happy. Long story short, for all my brothers that's on that bridge, on that, you're afraid to jump, take that commitment. Now, warning, Surgeon General warning. Make sure
it's the right
she
one.
is the right one.
Gotta be the right one.
All right.
Well, and the funny thing about that is, without naming any names, and I'm not talking about anyone specifically, so don't just in general. But you always hear the idea of, it's popular to say women have this idea of loving the idea of the wedding, but not loving the idea of marriage, to which I would say I disagree with that. I think it's more of a guy thing, actually, from talking to guys that I met over the years.
Of what? The wedding?
Well, not specifically the wedding, but it's almost like it's reversed. Like, some dudes like the idea of getting married. They, listen, most dudes ain't worried about the wedding. Like, that's fine. But getting married.
Right.
And, not understanding the things that come with it, good and bad.
Oh, no.
It's hard work to it. So, once you say I do and really make it official, I don't, and a lot of us men wasn't brought up in, I would say, 2-parent homes.
Right.
So to really see the work and dedication that it really takes to sustain a successful and fulfillment marriage. So once you say I do, make it legally binding, official.
Right.
It's work to be done.
Absolutely.
Shout out to one of my favorite podcasts, His and Hers, with Michael Smith and Jamel Hill. Michael Smith is married, Jamel Hill isn't. But Jamel always says, but now I was with this guy for like 7 years. We lived together. He's just like, nah.
Right.
There's a
Either
difference.
married or you're not.
Right. You're married or you're not.
Yeah.
And I say that just because of course legally, but just in general, there's a level of commitment where you just gotta acknowledge, just like, hey, we in this.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah. It's your other half.
Yeah. That's why I refer to the wife as the rib, man. That's real. So yeah, I put the same question to you, Mr. Tony. What say you, sir?
Life before marriage. Me and my wife, we was together 5 years before I proposed.
Okay.
So needless to say, it took me a minute to get to that level of, okay, we're gonna make this official.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? While we was together, she was already probably two years in.
She's like, she's ready.
Got me.
Right. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
She's popping that question to me, why ain't we married yet? You know what I'm saying? Are we going to get married? So
they do that. Yeah,
it took me a minute to get to that level, and not really to get to that level, but to make sure some things was right within myself. I was a little stubborn.
Yeah.
So and self-centered. So when I got to the level of really wanting to provide for her, make sure all of her needs were satisfied, put my needs to the side and put hers over mine, I knew, you know what I'm saying, it was time.
See, I love that because you saying basically what hopefully most of us can say is that you took it serious.
He's giving game. I hope y'all listening. Tony just dropped some game. There's some jewels right there.
I had to take it serious. That ring was a pretty penny.
Yeah, bro, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. Like, how much? Okay, all right, yeah. But nah, man. Like it's funny because one of my homegirls, we had this discussion years ago when she was with a guy for a while, but the guy wasn't ready for the next step with marriage.
Yeah.
And she was making the point, her mind was going all over the place, assuming that it was something like sinister, like he was stepping out or this and that. And as far as I knew, he wasn't. And, I think, but I'll say what I told her, which is, like, would you prefer somebody that just looks at you and just like, yeah, we'll do it. That's fine.
Right.
Like,
that Martin proposal.
Right. No.
Are you happy?
Right. Like, and I think there's something to be said about, and this isn't just with men or women. I just think in general, there's a certain level that you have to feel that you're to a good place before you can look at somebody else and say, hey, let's go ahead and get together. For some, it may be financial. Some it may be emotional. Some it may be literally like I want to get this job to the point where I feel like I can keep it, like, whatever it may be.
And that's what I tell a lot of my single friends, whether it be male or female. You got to be happy within yourself before you can before you can even try to make another person happy.
Right.
So if you're not all the way satisfied with yourself, take your time.
Yeah, man.
Get right within, and then that way you can focus on your mate.
That's right. That's real, man. That's real. And I will say this. I read a stat the other day that made me feel good, but it's something I didn't realize was happening because it's not just about the city or state, but just in general, is that people in our generation are getting married later, but there's a lower divorce rate.
Right.
I said, look at that.
They feeling it out.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
That's all right.
And that's a real statistic. And I always, anytime I meet anybody that's around 22, 24, and they're engaged or, about to get married, or got a long time girlfriend, I always tell them, make sure you making the right decision, because who you are right now is not who you're gonna be when you're 28, 30.
No, you're not.
And so you want to make sure that you're making the right decision for now and forever. Because
man. And I once you get to that point, and well, to answer my own question, before marriage, how can I describe myself? Before marriage, man, I was so much less responsible. Like, like the responsibility is real, just in general.
Yeah,
because you now have someone who is literally there with you, helping you out, holding you accountable if need be. But just in general, is the encouragement part.
Absolutely.
I genuinely appreciate that. So I try to remind myself to tell a little bit, but here you go. I just told you. So good job. But nah, man, but aside from that, I think it's easy to just be like what y'all was saying. I was a good dude. No, I was just you really don't have much direction.
He's just floating around.
Yeah. It's like, bills paid.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
doing my thing. That's what's up.
That's basically it. He's just floating around.
I mean, that's it, man. And I think, man, I love that point. The person you are at 22 is different than 28.
It is.
For me, that was completely true. So,
and another thing that really got me to the level was it hit me that I think I was 30 plus. I wanted to start having kids.
Yeah,
because kids, that totally changes a relationship, whether you married or you just, you know what I'm saying, having a girlfriend. So I never in my life wanted a baby mama. So I always wanted to definitely have a baby with my wife. So once you have them kids, there's you're not clubbing as much as you used to.
No.
You're not playing the game as much as
ain't no reason to
used
go to
back
the
in the day.
club.
Right.
No.
Right.
I got drinks at home.
You still got homeboys, but you're not kicking it as tough as y'all used to.
I'm at the house, man. You can come holler at me for a little bit, but I gotta go kick up with the wife too.
So when I was ready to, make that change in my life, I knew, and I knew that this was a person that I had to make that change with.
That's so real.
Yeah, that's
so real. And the funny part about that is, man, shout out to another show that records here, the 321 podcast. They had a really dope event. I think it was 2 weeks ago down at Versa V, a sports bar. But it was a R&B and podcast, and so they had some really good artists in there. They were performing, a lot of different people there. It was dope. But I say all that to say that I surprised people by actually showing up.
Yeah.
Because the event started at 8, and for me, that is prime shut it down time.
I already know it.
So we talking about me before me after. Right now, it's amazing if you see me out past 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And honestly, one, I'm just tired from working and doing everything else. But two, I'll be honest for everybody that asked me to come out past then. I'd rather be at home with my wife and kid.
Yeah, I feel you.
I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Rather be home with my wife and kid.
I feel you.
And this is also another reason why podcasting is great, because you can still be active and somewhat social and do your thing.
It's a recreational outlet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Within my family routine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna worry about recording at midnight or something. I ain't built like that.
Nah.
I just ain't built like that.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, and I do want to make one other point in talking about the marriage thing in general. I keep on mentioning people. I hope they're not offended. I'm not mentioning any names except for the good stories, but one of a guy that I know at one point was thinking about getting married, right? Just thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, he was hesitant, and I remember people around us saying like, "Hey, man, you got a good one. You need to, do that, locking down, this and that." Which I didn't disagree with as far as her being a great woman, because as far as I knew she was. But the thing I told him was just like, when it came to me and my wife, nobody had to tell me that I needed to get married.
When you know, you know.
Yeah. So like, you may want to think about that, bro.
Yeah.
When you know, you know. I mean, really.
Yeah. So anybody listening that's single that doesn't want to get married, hey, that's cool too. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, if you choose to go down that path, be careful. Make sure it's the right one.
Absolutely.
All that good stuff, right? So I'll tell you what, hold with us. One more break.
Getting engaged is like is the first hill of the roller coaster, and you hear those clickers, the loud sound. It's really violent metal, chunk, and you go, what's going on here? Boy, this thing's really goes high. And then you go over the top. The wedding is at the top. You go over the top is the wedding, and then you're just screaming.
Well, even if you make plans, you never think you're really ready for marriage.
No, it's like any growth. You can't be ready for it because it's growth. It's going to be new. It's going to be new. You're going to have a new life. You're going to be a new person.
couldn't make you wait forever, for forever. This is forever.
This is the Why Not Podcast.
If there's a question of my heart, you got it. It don't belong to anyone but you. Hey, if there's a question of my love, you got it. Baby, don't worry, I got plans for you. Yeah, baby, I've been making plans. Oh, love, baby, I've been making plans for you. Yeah, baby, I've been making plans. Baby, I've been making plans for
My sincere apology. I made it. Look, I'll admit it, albeit pathetic, that I'm in my late 20s, still never been to a wedding. Guess the idea of that lobby empty. Do not sit with me, well, it's not your fault they try to get me. Cause I'ma need the sales, cause I'm self.
All right, thanks for sticking with us. So I wanted to finish up on a couple topics and just to once again pull the curtain a little bit and let y'all in behind the scenes. We just had a great discussion about marriage and the beautiful things surrounding it, how you know, and just like some old married dudes. Second, we push mute. It's like, I mean, should we really go in? Nah, it's a beautiful thing, man. So, one of the great things about this medium podcasting in general is you get to hear different perspectives and different opinions, and you're exposed to a lot of different people that you wouldn't be in any other way. So. One thing I always like to do is if you guys have not only any podcasts, but just any shows in general that you've been listening to lately, we can shout them out. And one of them I want to shout out real quick while you guys are thinking of it is I mentioned them, I think last show, Straight Out of Low Cash, but they also have a different show called Lando Cal, which is about just nerd stuff like, comic books and movies. And It's a shout out to Lando Cal from Star Wars, the only black character.
Okay.
Before
Ray.
Yeah. I was like, y'all funny to do it. But those brothers and generals, they've been doing good work for a while. So shout out to Daryl, Teddy, James. Man, y'all continue to hold it down. But yeah, other than that, what?
I haven't really been, man. I've been real busy lately with the family. But
what about your guy, Les?
Les Brown?
Yeah.
I'm always listening to Les Brown, man. If anyone's looking for any type of motivation through your life, I would always look up Les Brown, Les Brown. Brother's amazing, very inspirational individual. Of course, I listen to the Why Not Podcast.
Hey.
We'll be back on the Brighter Perspective Podcast.
We need that, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna have Tony on there with me a few times, man. We're gonna have you here more.
Yeah,
and Tony sparked a lot. Believe it or not, just so you know,
Yeah.
you sparked a lot of this.
Yeah, man.
All right, so because when you ran into me at Wendy's and you were like, "Man, I'm mad at you," I'm like, "What's up, man? Man, you quit doing the podcast, man." I'm like, "Oh man,
like you don't bro, you don't know, bro. Like so we've been knowing each other for years,
yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? It's we haven't seen each other in a while,
right.
And when I first heard you on the Why Not podcast, I'm like, man, it sound like my dude Ty.
Yeah.
Like T-Smooth.
Yeah.
And then come to find out you had your own show.
Yeah.
And you teased her. That was my whole beef, bro.
Yeah.
You teased, but nah, man,
I apologize.
I'm definitely, man, I really mean that, man, from the bottom of my heart, man. I'm definitely a fan of both you guys' shows, man.
Hey, we appreciate it, man.
It's you guys' fault that I'm not here. I'm up on new music.
Yeah. Teddy put us on the line.
That's because that's all I do right now is listen to podcasts.
It's a trickle down though, because a lot of the music, like the song that you just heard,
which I was going to ask you about.
Yeah, dope.
Like, what was that?
It's from the soundtrack of the Insecure show on HBO.
That's my show.
Yeah. I'm at the peep it. Okay.
Bro.
I'm behind. It's called Insecure.
Bruh.
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
I was gonna say.
Was it on Netflix? HBO?
I was gonna say,
I got Cody, so I'll find it.
Yeah, definitely.
For those that are
allegedly.
understand. For those that
do
know.
your thing.
Yeah, you allegedly have it.
Yeah, that's for those that know.
Yeah. I'll say this, man. You know what? We'll talk about that in a second. I'm sorry, I cut you off, Tony.
No, you're good.
But yeah, like I was saying, man, I'm not up on new music right now because pretty much that's all I do is listen to podcasts now, man. Why not potluck podcast? Man, that's hey, if y'all listening, man, y'all fools, man, and I love every show.
They enjoy it. They enjoy it.
Indeed. Shout out to
so petty, man, and I love the pettiness. But Brilliant Idiots, man. I'm not for sure if y'all up on Brilliant Idiots, man. Charlamagne the guy.
I have listened to that.
Man,
I have listened to that.
They're crazy, man.
85 South. I listened to a little bit of 85 South.
Yeah, crazy.
I listened to a little bit of that.
That's a whole hour, man, of craziness, man. The His and Hers, definitely one of my favorite. In the conversation, man, with comedian DL Lemon, man, he's comedy. It's comedy, man. But yeah, I'm knee deep, man.
He's putting me up on podcast.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Like, and it's crazy that when I found out about the Why Not podcast, I think me and Teddy was kicking it like a week earlier.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I think we might have been into some conversation, and in my mind, I was gonna be like, man, y'all heard one thing on the podcast, but I stopped from saying it because I was like, man, they gonna think I'm a nerd. You listen to the podcast,
listen.
The next week, I'm like, Teddy, nigga, it's over.
Yeah, man. It's funny because I think just talking in the circles that we kind of run in, this is a great thing about podcasting is that the people that you've heard on the show, anybody listening, most people are on this show from conversations that we've had together.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like where I walk away and I'll be like,
absolutely,
that was a good point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tony was kind of spitting it, man. And,
for real.
And it's great to be able to reach out. And I'm a fan of podcasting, like everybody knows. But one of the great things about it is it's not like music in that you hear an artist that you love, and a lot of times, other than reaching out on Twitter and maybe getting a retweet or something, it's unattainable to really meet them or hear them, and But with podcasting, it's literally a text, a message away, like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah,
and all of a sudden you can learn something from somebody who's better than you, and get some good tricks of the trade,
or even be on the podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Because look, when you said what you said to me at Wendy's, I made a phone call to him.
Yeah.
And was like, you know what? He inspired me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Teddy D told you, but I think we kicked it
before.
He mentioned it.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, Ty ain't doing the podcast.
I like, Tony, like,
Look, I called Ty that next day.
He did.
I was like, listen, man.
I do that. Just so you know, I do that from time to time, man. I'll start something and I'll fade off. And then somebody got to, what's up?
Yeah.
That's that nudge. Sometimes I need a little nudge. I'm like, all right, let's knock it out.
Yeah, man.
But because of that, I called Teddy.
Yeah.
We did a show. What was it, 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then now we back doing another show.
Shout out to you.
You didn't talk to you helped produce 2 shows in 2 weeks. And how long has it been since you did a podcast?
September, August.
It was August. Because I did one with you. It was in August.
Yeah, it was August.
Yeah, we appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, man.
It just shows you.
Well, I appreciate you guys putting in the time and the effort and the work to make these shows really come to life, man. Like I said, man, that hour of just sitting down, doing whatever I'm doing and just listening to y'all talk,
it's entertainment.
Man. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's
it really gets you through it.
Being able to listen to something while you're doing whatever it is that you need to do, that passive listening,
and
the best.
It is refreshing,
right? And the crazy thing about podcasts for me personally, man, I had a conversation with my then boss probably about 5-6 years ago, and he asked me, "Do I listen to talk radio?" And I looked at him sideways,
like I'm not 50.
Look at him sideways. Why would I want to ride and listen to somebody talk and have a conversation? Like, man, I'm trying to listen to music,
right?
And and all of a sudden, man, I got introduced to you guys' show and other shows, man, and I enjoy it, man.
That's what's up.
Dude, much appreciated. But I'm telling you that it is, it's a community.
Yeah.
It's completely a community.
Yes, it is.
And a lot of the shows you'll hear us mention or you'll hear the bleed over, but And really, allow me to take a second to shout out some other people, man. You mentioned on the Potluck podcast, I laugh every time I mention them just because the show is crazy, man. It's funny.
Crazy.
Please check it out. 35th in Kentucky.
Oh,
man. They've done some really, really good shows.
Yeah, Matt, man.
Yeah.
Matt, man.
Matt, listen, Matt is a Louisville.
That's our family to me, man.
Literally.
I ran into him at the Big Crit concert, man, and we chopped it up for a minute.
Eminado was that? Yeah, they did say they saw it. Yeah.
And it's crazy, man, from knowing Matt and then hearing him on the podcast, I'm like, man, Matt's doing his thing.
Yeah, man.
That's a great look, man.
He's funny.
That is definitely Matt, man. And my girl Lish with Unscripted, she and Lindsay, they're going to be coming back, which I'm looking forward to.
That's what's up.
And, of course, 321, shout out to Red, DJ Nice. And it's a great place because there's different shows in general, just in the city of Louisville, in our little circle, that are doing well. I was talking to Sean the other night, Sean and Patrick from the About Time podcast.
Yeah, I looked them up, man. They did that many shows.
Yo, listen,
they pumping them out.
My work ethic to shame.
Dude, I saw like almost over 30 shows.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, what?
Well, and I was reminded, Sean, I'm like, man, that's the difference between me getting a laugh here and there, and y'all being professionally funny. Like,
and
the
they ain't
improv,
been doing it a year, have they?
No, and they pumped out like that is crazy work. And if you listen to the show, they do a lot of post production where they're kind of mix in when they're doing a Hulk Hogan impression.
They do a lot of acting,
the music.
Man.
Yeah, like it's incredible, man. I'm proud of them. And the bigger circle, of course, of the podcast that we're involved with. Man, it's just, it's a very appreciative feeling when other creative people are willing to support you and help you in any way possible, man. So everybody listening, please, if you're not a fan of podcasts, if this is just a one-off and you just don't know if you want to stay here, if you don't like the show, that's okay, man. I appreciate you coming by. But find another show that you love, because that's the beauty of podcasting in general. Whatever you're into, it's out there. I guarantee you.
Definitely.
I guarantee you, man. And so I want to wrap it up in a couple different ways, man. Of course, I appreciate you brothers coming by and doing your thing. But I know we're all sports fans here in general.
Oh man, you gonna talk about the game?
Please don't.
Too soon.
This ain't we ain't 35th.
I ain't got over that one yet.
We ain't 35th. We ain't 35th.
I definitely haven't got over that yet.
Soon,
Please.
Too soon. You know what game I will mention though?
What?
UCLA just beat UK in basketball.
Did they?
Yeah. So I want to give a shout out to
what? Wait till I get back to work. Wait till I get back to work.
Want to give a shout out to the Baylor the Great.
Where my cell phone at? I got to text somebody.
We appreciate you, BTG. Y'all put in work, man. So
can we give a shout out to the Cowboy Nation out there?
Sure.
11-1.
Hey, are y'all 11 already?
11-1.
Oh my!
Coming off this win against the Vikings, for all the Cowboys haters, I've been hearing for a couple years, you know what I'm saying? But they're kind of quiet this year, all the 49er fans out there and all the Redskin fans. Been kind of quiet this season, but that's all right.
It's funny. I had to I mentioned a second ago, Baylor the Great out of LA, and then LJ, of course, out of Louisville, 35th Kentucky. They're big Raiders fans. So, they're feeling good about where the Raiders are right now.
Mm-hmm. They should.
To which I responded, that's cute. Like y'all are having the first good season in 13, 14 years. So, and enjoy it. Good for you. I'll see you next year. So with sports in general, there's always a million things going on. But what is it? I can't even touch on Louisville right now. Once again, I'm still a little hurt. But in general, man, what are some of the things you guys looking forward to in the next next couple of months? NBA season is going. Louisville basketball is back hooping it up. I mean, what's another escape that you guys have that allows you to enjoy watching sports every now and then?
For me, it's definitely we're going into December, so we definitely about to go into the playoffs in the NFL. So that's my biggest escape. So Sunday afternoons, you can catch me on the couch, just flicking the channel back and forth.
Right. Hey, I meant to ask you, have you seen Red Zone yet?
Yes.
Bruh.
Yes.
Life changing.
Yes.
What's
Yes.
Red Zone is an NFL channel where it takes you from one game to the other. So instead of watching one game on CBS where they got commercials, slow play.
As soon as
Listen, as soon as this game goes to commercial, they move you to another one.
Okay.
So it's
You get
literally
covered.
6 hours straight of nothing but games.
Ah, man.
It is the anti-productive show. It's amazing.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's amazing. I didn't get it this year because I wanted to do things on Sunday. But
I understand.
yeah, it's incredible, man. What about you, brother?
Unfortunately, I'm still at church during those hours.
Oh, that's all right.
We have long services sometimes. So,
please go back to listen to the episode.
8 hours.
So I be on my cell phone watching UFC fights. But not really, man. I've been watching UFC, man. I'm a big UFC fan, man.
Who's your guy?
That's the thing. Is a lot of characters that we have, a lot of good fighters, man.
Only one I really know is McGregor right now.
McGregor is
He's crazy.
he is the most unique UFC fighter.
Yeah.
Just because he has a personality that it's hard not to like him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
If you're a hater, you're gonna do your job. But
He's funny.
He's a
The
funny
dude is great
guy.
on
He's
the
a
mic.
funny guy.
Yeah.
He's actually an excellent fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, we got some other good fighters. Right now UFC is dealing with a lot of just dealing with performance enhancement drug issues.
Do they
you know what I'm
test?
saying? Yeah, they do, man. They
See,
do.
that's
They
shocking.
do. And some people are victims because of it. Like, for instance, they had John Bones.
He got popped
Jones.
again?
He got popped again.
Come on,
But here's the
man.
thing. Here's the game. He had a main card, so he was going to be the main fight for the fight card. Okay.
Yeah.
They at like the week before the actual fight, he gets in trouble for performance enhancement drugs. So they bring in Brock Lesnar from WWE because he's got those followers, but he fights UFC too.
Yeah.
He fights the fight. Comes to find out he was on steroids too.
But they can't look at him and tell.
Right. Brock is like
What is
60
7
years
foot?
old.
The thing about the UFC, here's the thing about the UFC. The UFC is only cares about the entertainment and the ratings, okay?
Yeah, right.
So they don't really go by just a complete guideline of what's right and wrong.
But that's why I didn't know if they tested or not.
Yeah, they
it wouldn't
actually
be it wouldn't be in their
Right.
best interest to test.
Right.
They test, man, for whatever reason. It's not really fair. I mean, we got a lot of good fighters. It's come down to the league's actually changed. Now it's just about the big fights. So they're just trying to make the most fights.
Because they just got sold for like $4 billion.
But
or something, didn't they?
if you're not a true fan, what you need to understand is these fighters don't make a lot of
Yeah,
money.
they don't make too much.
Can we just talk about that real quick? Like somebody told me how much.
If I told you
fighter
how much an
made.
average fighter makes, you would be like, why don't he just get a job? The problem is some of these guys are the true martial artists, the true fighters. Like, they need to be in the gym. These people don't need to have normal jobs.
Yeah.
Because this guy on the job, he flip out, he gonna hurt the people.
Take his anger out on other people.
You hurt from customer service is crazy,
Yes.
bro.
He needs to be in that gym training, all right? Because this is his therapy.
I told him he had a call wrong and put me in a chokehold.
man. So some of these guys, I mean, this is a good sport for them. Unfortunately, I mean, a lot of them don't make a lot of money, man. On average, I would say.
Let me ask you this question:
Go ahead.
you're a big UFC guy? Do you follow boxing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Boxing.
but see-
Boxing is the original sport,
Right,
okay?
but that was the thing for me. Once I got introduced to UFC fighting,
Yes.
I couldn't get into boxing.
Well,
no
here's
more.
the thing.
It's tough.
UFC
It's
is
tough,
very
dude.
good with marketing, but it's more than boxing in the sense that it's more than one discipline. Okay, boxing is Western style boxing. Okay,
Yeah.
so mixed martial arts,
Anything
it's jiu-jitsu, it's kickboxing, it's taekwondo, it's different forms of combat.
Right.
So you have to be an all around really fighter in order to actually be the best of the best.
And not only that, though, I could watch a UFC fight, not knowing anything about whoever's fighting, and still be entertained.
It's
boxing
combat.
is not that way.
And I bet you that's why they justify how little they're paying.
And you watch 5 UFC fights, you're gonna see it two knockouts at least.
Somebody's going
Boxing,
there. Somebody's going there.
boring to me. You know?
Well, that's why Floyd is the best promoter I've seen. But the actual fight,
and there's some great.
Every
He's a defensive
time.
fighter.
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't put on a good show.
Nah.
That's the thing. That's what people are upset about.
And Bernard Hopkins was the same way.
Yeah.
And that's why I hated him forever.
Well, here's
he
what
would talk all that mess,
cash money, and then
into the fight.
Look. But here's what y'all got to understand. Here's what y'all got to understand. Okay, to be a boxer, they're trying to make it through their whole career and still have their health.
Yes,
that's really what it is,
and that's understandable.
They're trying to sell the fight, okay? But it's a hustle, you know. And boxing is an entertainment. This is entertainment,
right?
But at the same time, UFC is a newer sport.
Yeah,
it's growing each year, so they're reaching new numbers.
Right.
So they're still having growth pains. You know what I mean?
But I'll tell you this though, and even though I am sitting here today and I'm telling y'all, looking y'all in the eyes and saying,
I'm listening.
I know it's a gimmick. But if McGregor and Floyd fought,
they won't do it.
I know. But if they did, if McGregor stepped into a boxing ring with Floyd,
he gonna lose.
I would want to see the fight.
Everyone wants to see it.
Would you pay for it?
No.
Is the question.
But I would go somewhere where somebody did pay for it. I'll probably go to BW3.
Yeah. All right, just gotta wait the next day. It's gonna be on YouTube. Right. Wait one day, go
but
sleep.
I would be intrigued enough. Like I legitimately think that enough people would pay.
Yeah, they're trying to build it up. They're trying to build it up.
Because I would say
$100 million fight.
Literally, if McGregor now makes, and he's on the top, say he makes $1 million or $2 million a fight.
There you go.
Which is a lot more than most UFC
It's
fighters.
the most. None of them make that.
Period. Now, if he makes that, and he knows that by signing up for one fight with Floyd, he can walk away with 100.
He's going for $100 million.
Yeah, that's what he wanted. Yeah.
Here's why they won't happen.
I get why he would.
They won't do it because
it's disrespectful.
Well, no, Floyd doesn't want to hurt his legacy,
right?
Because here's the thing. Okay, here's what people need to know. All right, just for everybody to know, Floyd has more money than most people realize. All right, so his Pacquiao fight was like $300 million.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Before he had the main Pacquiao fight, most of his fights, Floyd would do like $40 million after pay-per-view and everything. But Floyd is the promoter of the fight, so that's like me saying, all right, look, I got a rap concert coming up, all right, but I'm the actual one throwing the party. So when you paying for all your tickets and everything, I'm getting that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When plus he got pay-per-view, so when everybody's ordering pay-per-view, he's getting a percentage of that. He's writing his own self the check when it's all said and done. That's the difference. McGregor has to go to Dana White. So Floyd is Dana White and McGregor all in one.
Yeah.
And the silent partners.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. So
I know.
Let me ask you this question.
I'm listening.
So, all right. So McGregor's punch power.
Yeah. It's unique.
All right.
He got a left that's like unheard of.
Now Floyd has always said that he wants to retire and still maintain his bill of health.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Floyd want to step in the ring with McGregor.
Well, I'll put it like this though: if it's boxing rules, I don't even think it would be close.
Yeah,
Like,
and McGregor is willing to do the boxing rules.
Yeah, because he wants that money.
And that's what everyone has to understand. There's two different goals.
Yeah.
If Mayweather was to do the fight, his goal would be to shut everyone up. Because here's the thing: Floyd's undefeated. Floyd's got more money than any athlete in history, right? But Floyd never gets his respect.
Well,
he doesn't,
because you know why? Because of the era that he's in.
Yeah.
Like,
but he doesn't.
There's no Sugar Ray
for a guy to be undefeated, to make more money than any athlete ever has done.
Yeah.
It comes with he doesn't get the Michael Jordan respect.
Nah.
You see what I'm saying?
Because for me, as a casual boxing fan, he ducked Pacquiao for years. He ducked him for years.
Well,
and by the time he fought him,
he's trying to. Well, he was. Mayweather's done something in boxing that's never been done before. All right, he's manually cultivating his legacy.
Yeah.
Okay. Most boxers get screwed over.
Yeah.
All right, where they don't get to pick their fights.
Right.
The fights are picked for them. All right.
Right.
They have injuries. Some lose their money, mismanage their money, whatnot. Floyd retired undefeated. All right, made more money than any of them. But now he's in real estate. Here's what people don't understand. He's a real estate tycoon.
Yeah.
All right, he makes $1 million a month through his real estate business.
I'm sure.
He gambles like crazy. He loses some, but he wins big. Like money ain't a thing with him.
Yeah, I know, but
McGregor just wants the money.
Right.
But for me,
Conor just wants the $100 million. He'll fight anybody for $100 million.
So what can Mayweather gain from it?
for
That's
me,
the thing.
more money.
Well, it ain't the money.
I mean,
it's more money, but it's an ego thing.
I definitely get that Mayweather.
He wants to
is
shut
more
everybody
kept
up
than everybody. But here's the thing, man. Like the reason why he decided to be his own promoter, to promote the way he does, is that he knew that he was worth more. He wanted more money.
He's
right?
smart. He's a businessman.
So I mean, I just don't see him with that same mentality saying that. Listen, I know I can walk away with 150.
Yeah.
That's being conservative.
Right.
Let's just say 180 million, whatever,
Right.
between pay-per-view, box, all that good stuff. Even if McGregor walks away with 50, he's not turning that down.
Right.
And here's the other thing. With Floyd, man, can you imagine the promotion
it'd be
between
crazy.
Floyd Mayweather?
They have a full 2-hour movie come out in
McGregor.
theaters before the fight.
Like I would pay for that.
They have like
before
a
I would pay for the actual
Rocky
fight.
Apollo Creed movie come out right before the fight. Like they build it up something ridiculous.
I mean, because everybody knows. It's just like, you remember that movie, The Great White Hype?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of what he would do in a boxing ring
Yep.
against Floyd is what Jimmy, whatever his name was, could do against Damon Wayne.
Yeah.
He can't hang.
Nah.
He cannot hang.
But they're two, successful people. You got a lot of ego, a lot of different followers, but Conor has things that Mayweather kind of wants, and Mayweather has things that Conor wants. Mayweather has the wealth that Conor's trying to pursue.
Right.
All right. But Conor has the people like Mayweather wants.
Oh yeah.
Conor has, no matter where he goes, he's got
those
hundreds,
Irish
thousands of
fans.
people. They ride for him.
So my question
Mayweather
is,
don't have that.
My question is Mayweather fully retired then? Like,
If the
because
check is right.
if he still wants that respect from if he's still trying to gain that respect from the people, is he going to get back in the ring and get that and try to get that respect?
I don't know, man.
And is McGregor the person to get it from? So
That's a good
say Floyd's not knocking nobody out.
No.
He's not gonna knock him
he's
out.
not.
So say he goes the distance with Floyd.
Yeah.
Is Floyd getting any respect for that?
No, you won't.
That's a good point. Like, what does he have to gain other than money?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, you're right.
Nothing.
That's why.
100 mil though.
But I'm saying this is not $5, and I know Floyd he's probably on his way to $1 billion if he ain't there yet.
Right.
Yeah,
This might put him over.
Yeah, I mean, for entertainment, it'd be the biggest thing of the year.
It
by
would
far.
admittedly be a circus show. I'm not saying it would be anything other than that. But man, listen, sign me up. Not to pay for it.
But sports wise, going back to your immediate question, sports wise, that is yeah, man, that's what I've been watching, man. And it's funny, man. Like I said, it's a new sport. It's changing.
Yeah.
I can see where they're starting to adapt some of the WWE tactics because it's entertainment.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's entertainment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're trying to keep, there's certain things that if you implement within your entertainment enterprise, it works.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man. But once again, I want to say to the everyone listening, man, we really appreciate that the support.
Yeah, man.
And we doing this for y'all, man.
Indeed.
It ain't just us. We enjoy it. We having a good conversation, but we enjoy being that good positive outlook for the people, man. So I know we just had this long discussion about sports, but I'm still, I'm still thinking about our listeners, man. Because like I said, man, I got a lot of text messages from people saying they ain't heard from me in a while, and see if everything's good. I appreciate that. I really do, man. And Ted, I appreciate you having me on the show, brother.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. Listen.
Next year, look, it's 2017, man.
Let's do it again next year.
So why not?
I see what you're doing there. Because we can have a brighter perspective, right?
Yeah. You already know.
Man, so as always, thank you for tuning in and giving us a little bit of your time. Feel free to write back. And
can I say one thing before we get out there?
Go ahead, fam.
To get back on the topic of balance in the city, man, I just want to just talk to the people for a second, man.
Go ahead.
we got to do something, man. Like, I'm from the East End, Smoketown, Shelby Park area, man, and it hurts me deeply when I, see my hood and on the front page, man, for nothing positive, man. It really hurts my soul. Like I said, man, it stirs up a lot of emotions in me. One was fear, but another one was motivation. And like just seeing our city go through stuff like this, man, it really motivated me to, get up and try to do my part in one thing that I, started doing this year was coach Little League football.
Nice.
And, just to try to be a positive figure.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Just for the kids to look at. Because just coming up, there was no professionals around me, to look up to. So I wasn't really hip on what careers that's really out there for us to really get into. But I just feel like, man, that's I think got to be one of the solutions, man, for us just to be in these kids' life, man, and just know that what's their surroundings in their environment that they're growing up in ain't all what the world is made up of, So it's a big world out there, man, and explore it, and
it's more out there.
Well said, man. Well said. Expand your horizons, and and if anybody's listening and you're feeling, man, and one other part, and but I wanted to touch on it just for a second, because right now we're seeing that the homie Kanye is going through some things.
Yeah,
man. Listen, the jokes are there, but for the larger issue of what we think he's dealing with, which is mental health, it's still considered a taboo thing.
Yes.
Shout out to Yahoo. They always give me some good articles, but I was reading an article that I think somebody linked to on Twitter. I wish I could remember who it is so I could give them credit, but they were saying that if I'm correct, 2 out of every 5 American feels like they've suffered from some form of mental health, whether it's depression, whether it's ADD, whatever, and most of them have not gotten treatment because of the taboo and the stigma around the idea of mental health.
Right.
And, we're getting better, because when we were kids, it was viewed that as even worse than it is right now. But man, it's okay. I don't know how else to say it other than, I can't speak for y'all, but I've gone through the depression thing. Is literally a chemical imbalance that you have to deal with.
And that's a really big topic, I think, that really needs to be discussed in the Black community. Because like you said, man, when us coming up, it wasn't talked about at all.
Nope.
Especially Black men. Because we're looked at us as to be the stronger, when we got to be stronger than everybody. We definitely got to be stronger than the women, but we also got to be stronger than our others that we compete with out in the world. So if anybody is going through anything mental, please talk to somebody about it. Don't hold it in. It only makes things worse. Subject is definitely a topic that needs to be discussed.
Absolutely, man. And listen, if you don't feel comfortable reaching out to anybody close to you, reach out to me. Reach out to anybody that you know. And if I don't know the answer, I'll be happy to find out for you, to help you out. But once again, it is, to me, true. A true example of strength is seeing an issue that you have and getting help.
Right.
However it is that you need that help, and it's okay. I guarantee you, it's okay. It's okay. I want to stress
be
that.
all right.
So, it related to Kanye. I know Kanye is getting drugged everywhere, but the issue in general is bigger than just Ye.
Yeah.
Somebody's going through something like that. You help out any way that you can. So, listen, great show.
Yeah.
Great show. Yeah, I appreciate y'all.
It's therapy. This is my release.
I appreciate y'all having me, man. Y'all don't understand, man. Yeah. I'm a true fan, man.
Brother.
Like this is a big day for me.
We are fans of our fans.
Hey, seriously. And the fact, man, you're here because we're a fan of you.
Yeah. We've been talking about you.
We appreciate you for the dude you are, man.
Yeah, man. Tony always been positive, brother.
Always.
I ain't never seen you upset.
Nah, man. Look, I work in customer service, man. Like I work in retail, man. Like I gotta let everything brush off me, man. I deal with too much stress to let that consume me though. But man, I definitely appreciate y'all, man. Letting me come up here and kick with y'all for a minute,
brother,
man.
anytime. You welcome. Just know that it's an open invite, man.
Yes,
so we'll start with you, man. Anybody you want to shout out or leave any good messages to?
Man, got too many shout outs to give. Shout out to my baby, my lovely wife out there. She know who she is. I ain't gonna put your business out there like that.
look, I was hoping that's where you started because I gave you that alley and you took that oop. That's what's up.
Right.
That's what's up.
Give a shout out there to my family, man. My Fast Cash family, all my brothers out there. Definitely got to give a shout out to the whole East End, Shelby Park, Smoketown area, man. I know we going. This past year it's been more like a war zone up there, man. But we gonna definitely get it together out there, man. And shout out there to all the nasty noobs out there, man. Cap Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, man.
There you go.
There you go, brother.
All right, man.
Man, shout out to everybody in the city, man. Shout out to the family, the Mitchell family. Love y'all. Shout out to the wife. Love you, baby. To the family, just everybody, man. Teddy D, why not? I mean, I really don't want to start saying names because I'm going to leave somebody out. So I'm going to say everybody. Man, shout out. If you listening, talking to you.
Definitely.
I love it. And, I guess I'll follow Trey, man. And, of course, shout out to everybody that you guys have heard me shout out a million times before. But I try to do it as much as possible because I want to let them know that I appreciate their work and what they're doing. So bear with me. But, of course, Unscripted, Potluck, 35th of Kentucky, Bout Time.
SYO.
Banshee Block, hashtag SYO, man. Just do a search for that and you can see a whole list of different shows. Outside, of course, Black Astronauts, because I hadn't always been on that show. I was a fan before.
Yeah, he was.
Rapper Podcast, Straight Outta Low Cash, In Deep Crew, the homies, the Black Guy Who Tips, of course, the Cali Crew on the Black Is Network, Brothers Layman, The Break, man, my homie Spirit G, the G Spot Network, who just put out a great show with he and his daughter. It's a show called Verses where they go through their favorite songs of a certain artist, and they went through their favorite songs of Michael Jackson. It was dope. Incredible. And last but not least, the homie BTG. You hear him on the episode before, and he had his first load of guest spots on there. So, I throw as much shade as I can at Baylor because, of course, he throws it back, but that's my guy, man. So I appreciate him. And, I appreciate you for listening. So until next time, feel free to reach out, and we'll get at y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.
This is the Why Not Podcast.
So many's taking on the Prince symbol. Princess cut her hand on the spindle. The rap game's been left unattended to the point chaperones need be in attendance. See, this is what it boils down to. Blood oaths, animal sacrifices for a price, Taking on the role of Van Helsing, modern day slayer. The silver is my LP. The holy water's in the Polish spring bottle. I squeeze it on vamps and ghouls and gargoyles. Pivot and move throughout Earth's four corners out to prove what was sleep. It's no longer dormant. Stay sharp and cautious. Get nauseous when a demon is close to my fortress. No bullshit. Everything you hear ain't the truth. Stop relying on the reverends, preaching from the pulpits. Throwing up signs, have you thinking they blessed with a gift from the Most High? With me that don't fly, eyes are wide shut. My interpretation of waves, the hair I brush. Time's critical, sleepwalkers walk around.